Are you truthful on social media? Do you show the real you? These are questions that are becoming more and more frequent in today's society, as the internet and social media has developed to be a crucial part of our lives. With children now being born into a world obsessed with social media, the dangers and risks surrounding the subjects are beginning to become more evident. With this in mind, we asked the people of Leicester what their thoughts were on the dangers.
I think social media can be damaging if people aren't aware of what the certain consequences are.
Yes, I do believe it can be dangerous if it's misused.
There's just so many different social media apps out that you just rotate the same like 5 apps for an hour and then go back to the first app, and you can just do that all day.
People seem to post a lot of personal information.
It forces people to compare themselves to other people, and that can lead to negative views on themselves.
It stops people communicating and speaking words to each other.
People take too much notice. I think older generation like we are not affected because we don't really understand it.
With the large majority agreeing on the possible dangers of social media, the question remains, why do we still use it? Doctor Erin Vogel is a postdoctorate fellow from the University of California within the Department of Psychiatry, focusing on social media and how it affects our well-being. She explains the most productive ways to use social media.
My name is Erin Vogel. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the University of California, San Francisco.
What would you think are some of the main dangers of social media?
I think that social media can make us feel as if everyone else is having better and more exciting lives than we are. And there's quite a bit of research to back that up. Some of it, my own research, and some others. The problem with social media is that people tend to present the highlights of their lives. So they're not necessarily lying about who they are or what they're doing, but they're selectively presenting the best parts of their lives. Social media can also make us feel lonely, even though it can be a great way to connect with others. It can also make us feel kind of distant because it looks like everybody else has more friends than us and is doing more exciting things than us. So there's a lot of research to show that using social media excessively and using it mostly to communicate with acquaintances rather than close friends can be really harmful for people's well-being.
And with this in mind, and especially how social media's developed so quickly in the last couple of years, how do you see this getting any better or worse in the future? How do you think it will develop going forward from here?
Kids have smartphones from a really young age now. They have social media accounts at really young ages. So I could see the problem getting worse as these teenagers start to grow up and get used to a world that has social media all the time. They've really grown up with this warped perspective of what other people are doing and how exciting other people's lives are and how attractive other people's lives are. So I do worry about the impact of that.
What do you think can be done to help the younger generation use social media safely?
I think that as a scientific community, we know a lot more than we used to about healthy social media use. So if that can be communicated to teenagers in a way that they'll be receptive to, I think that that could be really helpful.
Dr. Erin Vogel speaking to me earlier. So it seems clear that social media can be a double-edged sword, possibly damaging our well-being, but also playing such an important part in our modern society. It leaves many questions to be answered. What is clear is that understanding social media will help us to use it more safely. So if you've been affected by any of the issues that we've talked about today, you may want to visit www.youngminds.org.uk for more information. Thank you for listening.